I got an appointment for my Salem client today for a warehouse, essentially. It's varied, most of TPO, shingle and metal, equates to about 40,000 square feet. They had the TPO put on about 20 years ago, so it's about due for at least a checkup, maybe some re-roofing, but called the head of maintenance, and he said it's perfect timing that I called because he's in the market for a new reliable roofer. So we're having a meeting set up first thing next year, and hopefully we are their new go-to roofer. Stay tuned.
So got one for my roofer in Dallas. It's with local business. I spoke with the owner, said that he's looking at replacement quotes on his facility, so that it's at the point where repairs aren't really needed. It's more so just getting a bid for replacement and hopefully following through with it to get something planned.
I got one this afternoon for my IT client in Kentucky. I was a lead weight from back in August. I spoke with the IT manager. They are currently in the process of being bought out, which is what we had initially talked about back in August. They're with a company right now, but with the buyout, they're going to have to look at other bids and quotes. And they have 15 users, one physical server. They got some issues with hardware and Microsoft 365 migration. So we're going out there on the 13th of January. I'm real excited about it.
Just got off the phone with the president of a constructional engineering firm located in Rapid City. So caught him on his cell phone, kind of pitched our 10-year experience in his vertical in his industry, just kind of offered a Teams call, and the guy immediately turned around and invited us out on site to meet the whole team. So I think it's going to be a great conversation, scheduled for mid-January on site.
Got an email back actually from somebody that I had reached out to. They requested an email. He was transparent with me that they are working with somebody. It's a really big transportation company out in Knoxville. Told me that he was wanting to hear what we have to offer in comparison, but in full transparency, they are working with somebody, relatively happy, but my client's extremely excited for this opportunity, so should be a really good appointment next month.
Banger morning. Schaefer hit the cycle for a client. It's got 2 for Service Master this morning. The 2 she needed, so she can help out on other accounts. So huge shout out to Schaefer. Team's really close. Everybody hitting the cycle. Feeling pretty good. It's a couple days before Christmas, but people are still in office. So we're gonna keep ripping. We're gonna make it happen this month. So super excited about it.
I've been building like crazy for my clients, Pulaski Roofing and Sherling Technology Services, so I'm going to call my shot for both of them in the afternoon.
Got a pretty good appointment today for my Georgia IT client. It's with a construction firm. They have an on-site guy. No, he's actually not on-site. He works off-site, but he helps out when they need. And doesn't really do too much for their compliance. Their website actually hasn't been updated in like 10 years or 15 years. So the executive VP was pretty interested in just talking about some supplemental support second week of January. It's a smaller firm, about 10 users, but should be a pretty good appointment.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Got 2 appointments today for my cleaning client here in St. Louis, and more on that later.
Got a bunch of dials in and had good conversations, so it should be a good day tomorrow.
Roger's got 2 on the day, hunting for his 3rd. I got 1 from one of my clients. So we are on the prowl trying to get some stuff right before we hit the holiday. Got 1 from my client earlier in Sheboygan. It's with a 110 user manufacturing firm. Talked to their internal IT admin. Wants to see what we can bring to the table. Work with local MSPs and wants to pre-qualify us for future consideration. So we set up a Teams meeting here after the new year. Should be a good one.
Gonna be calling our shot for Columbia, South Carolina for Team Logic.
Yeah, got a couple good meetings scheduled today. One is a 4-location, 55-user engineering firm. Spoke to his director of IT over there. Actively looking for cybersecurity. Something we can definitely do for his team. The other one was a law firm. Has a company in place, I wouldn't say he's unhappy, but he's not impressed. So want to see what we have in terms of, capabilities and IT support for law firms. So that should be another good one.
Roger called my shot on site this morning, so I'm calling mine on Verdant and Grand Rapids.
I got 3 already today. Something light, we got the holidays coming up. Got to work our hinds out this week, try and get some people in before they're out. But 3 in Atlanta, I honestly forgot what they were, but one of them was really good. I know that. It was from a lead weight back in September. with a electric utility provider. Their main headquarters is like 30 minutes away from Atlanta, so still in our MSA, still in our scope of work. But they're looking to do an entire re-roof, tear off with a TPO roof. Big project this year, or going into 2026, I should say. But that'll be a good one, and then 2 maybe more basic meetings that were maybe like 80,000 square feet or so. But pretty good day so far. Shooting a shot for another 1 or 2 in the afternoon. But I guess Logan got one, and he's cooking up one right now. Let them talk about it.
It's been a pretty good day so far, working my hiney off. I got one for my IT client, Dayton. It was with a local municipality. I had been pointed in the direction of the IT manager a couple weeks back. Finally got him on the phone today. They're looking at some networking support for next year, so that one's set up for the second week of January. They have at least 100 employees, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that one goes.
I've been just calling a lot of colleges today. I've spoken with probably 25 of them. A lot of them are either out of the office or they're just getting some solutions figured out. And then I have 2 of them that are supposed to reach back out to me that are really good opportunities. So hopefully those pop this afternoon.
Getting some warm contacts, still waiting to schedule an appointment here, but making my way through some cleansing calls, getting an introduction or 2, and yeah, just kind of starting to work the pipeline and make myself available and steady contact for some of these folks.
We're doing not too bad over here today. Blake's on the board with a pretty good one. I have a warm lead that I should be converting into an appointment at 12:30 today. Spoke with the administrator, just wanted to give her a call back. So that should be on the board today. But Blake, what'd you do today?
I got an apartment complex for my guy in Philly. We're going to be going out discussing preventative maintenance on, it's a large apartment complex, like 800,000 square foot with all the floors included, so should be a really good one for him.
I'll call my shot for my Missouri IT client.
We're turning it into a pretty good one right now. I've called for Florida and Phoenix so far, and looking to get appointments for Phoenix and my Las Vegas client.
We got 2 on the board from Marge and Ben, so they're keeping us afloat. Me and Brendan are going to try and bring it home this afternoon. But I think Marge was on the board first, so I'll let her go first.
I set one for my roofer in Arkansas. It's a pretty good one. It's a medical building, and they have burr roofing that's leaking and needs some repairs. So they're going to go out there January 5th.
I got our roofer out in Dayton, Ohio with a banger today. About 30,000 square feet. The roof looks terrible.
I'm going to call my shot in Cleveland in a second and walk back in here from lunch.
Doing pretty good today. I think we got 3 on the board. 1's out on PTO, so had partner meetings and stuff all this morning, so it's been a fun morning. But I think we could start right here and then go around the table. I think we've got 1 for Justin, 1 for Aaron, and 1 for Nathan.
SDP is on the board and yellow. Called a lead. It was actually my first call for him last month when I first obtained the account. Wanted to call back at the start of the new year. Called him today. He was being a little difficult. Ended up convincing him and talking him into being open for a meeting. So it should be a good one.
I got one for my client in Chicago. Should be a really good one for him. So it was a dental office. Called them and pitched them, and she said that they have like an internal IT person, but she really didn't even consider him like their IT guy. He's in and out and really doesn't do any help. So definitely looking for something. She said they have a lot of IT problems, so should be a really good one for them. Set it for the beginning of January.
Yeah, I got one for my IT client out in Philadelphia today. It was with I spoke with the operations manager. The CEO had pushed me towards him, said he oversees the IT relationship. There's 20 users, cloud-based. They have some pain with what they're currently doing, and he is actively shopping. So set that up for the first week of January.
I'm just working in Chicago, doing some follow-ups. Hopefully at least 1 warm lead today.
Highland Commercial Roofing Phoenix is going to get one in the afternoon.
Spoke with a community manager at an apartment. We had spoken in the past, wanted us to follow up at the end of the year here. The buildings were built in like 1963 and 64. She oversees 2 of them. So there's some cracking and some holes up there. We're going to go out there to get on their vendors list, be a resource for some repairs going on later in 2026.
I got us a banger as well today, so I got our 3rd one for our Albany IT client. I spoke with the IT guy over at a school in the Albany area, So he didn't really name any like in-house issues that they have. They're primarily in-house. They outsource a little bit for things here and there, including licensing. So he was open to meeting with us on the 12th. It's about 2,000 devices. So I'm sure there's room for opportunity there, but we'll have more info here pretty soon.
Just getting used to navigating everything, starting to feel more comfortable with that. Working on locking down the first one, but confident that it will happen soon.
Slower morning for the pod, but that's to be expected the week of Christmas. We're going to try and hit it hard, make the most of especially today and tomorrow before people start going out of office. I was able to snag one this morning for my IT client up in Canada. It's with the government entity, 250 users, 10 locations, looking for full managed services. So we're going to get them a quote, see where things go. Tyler, who are you calling your shop for this afternoon?
I'll call my shop for our baseball affiliated client. I think I'm going to get one this afternoon.
Emma?
I'll call my shop for my roofer in Arkansas.
Teddy?
LA client.
And Matt is on a call. I will call his shop for a roofing appointment for any client.
Tomorrow then.
I've got 2 appointments. I think HQ is still. Anybody else got one? I think. So we got a big afternoon coming. I know Maryville and SEMO, they got a few appointments. I think we have a total of 5 on the calendar. To talk about mine, my MSP appointment in DC was a referral from Integratech. So it was kind of an easy appointment. The guy heard about it. Sam just told me to call him and set an appointment. So I'll give myself a tiny pat on the back for that one, but it was kind of a layup. The other guy was a commercial cleaner in Philly, and that was pretty straightforward. Who we are, what we do, why I'm calling. They're ready to set up a meeting right there. Didn't really have to go into anything, so I verified 4,500 can fit the budget. That's on the calendar for Christmas Eve. So I got a meeting for tomorrow, a meeting for Christmas Eve, one more chance for us to get another deal to hit our goal before the end of the month. That being said, this will be like one of our last of 2 days for us to be able to get an appointment this week until we start calling again next week, excuse me. So let's try to get some meetings on the calendar, because odds are anything that we call next week and set up, it's going to be for January. So let's just try to get some meetings on the calendar, try to get it before Christmas, if not, sometime next week. Don't let people push you off to January. I was talking to Aaron the other night. I told him I think that I was being too nice on the phones. Like, people were like, hey, call me in January, I don't want to set anything up. And he's talking about building urgency, and he's like, hey man, you know, if you're legitimately interested in doing this, all I'm asking for is 30 minutes of your time. It's like, if you're interested, if you want me to call you back in January, I can do that. But if you're just trying to kick the tire down the road, you want me to call you in January with no intention of setting the appointment, just let me know. It's like, I'll call other guys in the market. That will drive urgency. It's like, I'm going to work with one guy in the market. You know, if you want me to call you back in January, I can, but it's just 30 minutes, man. Let's just knock it out right now. I've already had meetings. People can sign up when they sign up. I don't want you to miss out on the market. Let's get some time on the calendar. Just 30 minutes. So I think that'll help if you just use that. Don't let people say, hey, call me in January. Don't roll over so easily. Oh, I'll call you in January. Just say, hey man, I've already had meetings in the market. I get it to holiday week. All I'm asking for is 30 minutes. If you do not have 30 minutes, that's fine. I'll call you in January. But if you're just kicking the tire down the road, so you can tell me the same thing when I call you in January, you know, let's just save each other time. Just try to drive that urgency. Let's get some meetings. Let's have a killer afternoon. Other than that, that's all I got.
Been reaching out to some more candidates. We got some scheduled to come in next week for some more BDR roles and other additional roles around here. Got some new hires I'm getting ready for to get started, getting all their first day info sent out, and just sending out more messages to new candidates.
Yeah, I've been working on getting app icons into the CRM, so on like the mobile app though, trying to get all the clients' apps in there and be able to like switch to their own app, so more branding for them.
We're kind of doing exactly what Trey's doing, sourcing candidates on Indeed, exploring, actually just got some new messages for the month of December, trying to help our clients hire, HVAC, plumbing, pretty much everything in between.
Just doing blogs for this week, getting ahead of it since I'm off for the rest of the week and another week after that, so just getting ahead of all that. And then I've got my laptop switched out so I have more processing power. Finished a bunch of pages on one of our new clients' sites, and just waiting for a review on those.
I have 10 appointments today, so a majority of those are going to be wrap-up calls, and then I have 3 kick-up calls with new clients, and then I'm just working on payroll and getting list purchase, so that's what I'll be doing.
There's been some email issues, people getting caught up in spam filters, so just reviewing those emails for their headers and making sure that they're all legitimate. Going through doing that, updating some of the maps that Nick found. I missed some of the fire extinguishers and fire alarms downstairs. So updating that, and then the rest of the day, probably be working on the intranet and playing pool.
Just got one for my roof out in Colorado Springs today. It's been one I've been chasing for a while. Spoke with this plant manager at a packaging company. Actually, when he first went into the role, said he was looking at some roofing projects, but wanted to kind of get his feet wet first. Kept following up throughout the months. Finally, caught him at a good time. We carved away some time in January to go out and meet, talk potential projects, and how we can be a resource for him.
Yeah, so I was able to get an appointment for my client in California. Should be a really good one for us. So I reached out to the director of IT and pitched him, and he definitely was open to hearing more. So they actually have their own internal team that's pretty solid, but he was really interested in hearing about what we could offer for his cybersecurity. They have about 280 end users, I believe like 7 locations, 8 servers. So it's going to be a really good appointment for the client.